on a beautiful Wednesday evening, January 14th. We got the divisional round of the playoffs, what everyone says is the best round of the playoffs. Although, I don't know, Wild Card Weekend now has 6 games. It used to only have 4, if I remember correctly. So maybe Wild Card is now the best. I mean, the games are really damn good. So, but yeah, how'd you enjoy the Wild Card Weekend games?
Yeah, they were really good. Kind of went out with a little bit of a dud. I mean, not that it was a terrible game. It just, it wasn't quite as exciting. I mean, it was nice that it was close. And Marv wants the link. Give me the link.
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, like, I mean, I'm kind of curious, like, is Rodgers actually done? Like, is that how he wants to go out, But at a certain point, what you want isn't always realistic. Like, maybe you do just go out like that,
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer.
I mean, he's not going back to Pittsburgh, so that's for sure. Not with the new coaching. I mean, unless maybe like Arthur Smith becomes the coach or something, which I guess is possible. I did hear something that this is like the 4th coach the Steelers are going to hire since like 1969. And because they had Tomlin for, was it 18 years or whatever, 2007 I think he took over, and then they before that they had Bill Cowher for like forever, for like 20 years or 18 years or whatever it is, and then Chuck Noll 1969 to 1991, Bill Cowher 92 to 06, Tomlin 07 to 25. And so, this will be the 4th coach that they'll have hired since '69, and the Raiders have 4 coaches since like 2021 or something like that. I'm just like, God damn. I mean, obviously, the Steelers are like an anomaly for any team, but still, it just shows you a little bit. But yeah, we are doing a rookie mock draft. So I sent the link there. We already got some people filling it up, which is awesome to see. We'll give it a few minutes here, guys, maybe 5-ish minutes, see if we can get most of those filled up. Appreciate you all supporting and being here. This is our first one since the season has finished, so it'll be interesting to see how things are changed. This will be a super flex league. That's not the one I want. This will be a super flex league. So pretty standard. We'll just keep it standard beyond that, super flex PPR. Doesn't really matter how many starters we have, but we will no, we won't have rookie picks in here, JMO, not yet. Not yet. We will soon for sure. But not quite yet. So but yeah, go on ahead and hop in. We got 6 spots remaining, so I'd like to at least fill up a couple more of those. I'll try at least for the first few rounds. If we do have, auto picks and teams that need to be claimed, I'll try and make picks for them. For the most part, it gets a little complicated as it gets deeper into the draft, though. So, but yeah, we got some big Dynasty news. Dante Moore, he was the Oregon quarterback, projected number 2 overall pick, went back to school. A little bit surprising, to be honest. Usually people that are projected to go for 2nd overall, going back to school, it's changed with the NIL money and these guys making money. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but I think a lot of people thought he was going to come out, and he's going back to school. So that weakens this Dynasty rookie class by a decent amount, to be honest. To me, it's down to 2 guys now that could be 1st-round picks at the quarterback position. One of them is Fernando Mendoza. He's playing in the national championship game. I mean, he technically could go back to school. I don't think he will because he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, but I don't know, man. So But yeah, we'll send the link here again, guys. We're going to start this up in, let's just say 4 minutes. We're going to start this up. So join us if you can. I'd like to get a couple more spots in. We got 5 spots open. We got over 20 people in here watching, so we should be able to fill that up. Now it dropped up.
Yeah, jump in.
Jump in. John says, honestly, good for Moore, though. He needs the experience. Yeah, you could definitely make that argument that he needs that. What's interesting is the Nebraska quarterback, he transferred to Oregon. And he's kind of, he has a lot of talent. He's the Mahomes. He's the Mahomes lookalike. He has the hairstyle and his mannerisms are very Mahomes like and everything. And he admits it, like he's a Mahomes fan. He doesn't like hide it. Dylan Raiola, he transferred to Oregon. Now he tore his ACL pretty late, I believe, so he might just redshirt this year. So, but yeah, we got 4 spots open, guys. 4 spots open. We're starting this up in just a few minutes. Don't want to keep the people in here waiting. Again, this will be a let's just call it a 12-team Superflex PPR start. However many starters you want there. If you want to join us, link is in the chat here, right here.
I just wanted to say one thing real quick. If someone wants the 101, I'll trade it. No, I'm just no, but if someone actually wants to draft from that spot, just say in the comments and I'll move somewhere else. When we're streaming, I kind of like the back-to-back picks because it gives me a little more time to talk, I guess. Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to make a pick and then a minute later trying to make another pick. But
yeah. Cass, not a rookie mock. Once they get added to the database, we will be doing rookie mocks every single week. So that happens at the end of January. They do it pretty quickly on Sleeper. So we'll be definitely doing that once they get added to the database and all that. So still got a few more weeks till that happens. Tim Duncan or Kevin Garnett. I'm gonna go Duncan. Missed the big fundamental, I think was his nickname. So although I'm not the best to get basketball advice from, he said he's happy to redshirt a year. Yeah. He is happy to redshirt there. So yeah, transfer portal and NIL, man, is really changing college football. Nico always comes in when talking about the unemployed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's back on the crack rock again.
Yeah. T-minus 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. If you want to get into this rookie mock, hop on in. It's a Superflex startup draft. Again, don't want to keep the people waiting. So
another question, or I guess maybe, I don't know if I asked, but is any of that background noise coming through?
I don't think so, but
okay.
I'll listen. We are doing 3rd round reversal. Yeah. There is a 3rd round reversal. No rookie picks, no kicker rookie picks. We'll be doing rookie picks and stuff like that. Probably once we get a little bit better of an understanding of everyone that's coming out. So, might be able to get a couple more people. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes here, JMO. If not, we'll just start it up. No worries. Don't want to keep everybody waiting. So, but yeah, we have some good games this weekend for sure. I'm excited for all these games, to be honest. Broncos, Bills, Seahawks, 49ers, Patriots, Texans, Bears, and Rams. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, yeah. Any predictions?
I'm going to say, I was going to say, are we going to do our picks right now, or we're going to do them on Saturday?
Probably Saturday. We can save it for Saturday. So,
okay.
But yeah, I think I'm going to just start this up, guys, again for it's only a minute on the clock. So quick clock here. I'm going to make the picks for some of these non-claimed teams, just so we don't get a weird, at least for the first few rounds here. So let's start this bad boy up. And you are on the clock. Let me turn that off. The sound there.
Yeah, I should do that too. All right. Yeah. Old faithful, man. Josh Allen.
Mr. Josh Allen. Yeah. It is Josh Allen. Although I do see, well, I'm not going to say it yet. It's full. Actually, I'm going to say it because I'm going to take him here. I see Drake May go at the 101 sometimes, and he's there. Drake May is there at the 101. He's made it into that tier for people. So it feels a little Herbert-esque. You know, Herbert was going in that range after his second year. I don't know. Is it an overreaction? Maybe. Maybe it is. I think I still might take a couple guys over May, including Allen. Daniels is an interesting conversation, but Lamar is another one. As we see, Bijan Robinson. I do see a lot of a shift in Dynasty as well, where a lot of people are saying like they don't want early picks. They prefer later picks, especially with third round reversal. Like the top tier quarterbacks, they're not the thing we all covet anymore. Like there's a little bit of a change, a bit, which is interesting. It's an interesting philosophy for sure. And Jamar Chase, and this is kind of what I mean. I feel like before we were seeing 6-7 quarterbacks go before the first non-quarterback.
You did it.
I didn't mean to. Is it still a thing? When's that gonna die
out? My daughter has been saying like, oh yeah, we're doing like meme refresh or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's funny because like we've been like teasing her about the 6-7 thing for a while now, and she's like, it's 2026. Yeah. She's 11, so there you go.
Yep. There you go. Man, I think I'm just gonna stick with the quarterback here. Stick with the QB. I think I'm gonna go Joe Burrow. I don't think I have Joe Burrow on any dynasty teams, but yeah, definitely a change though, right? Like of I feel like there's a lot more non-quarterbacks going earlier. So that's exactly what I was kind of alluding to before with this idea of like there's a shift a little bit. Like people are, I had someone comment because I was talking about a lot about Fernando Mendoza and he's the quarterback that should be the 101 in the NFL draft and just like people are saying like, yeah, people don't want quarterbacks as much anymore and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, I won with Tyler Shuck and Brock Purdy. And I was like, well, it kind of proves my point, though, because Tyler Shuck and Brock Purdy were awesome in the playoffs, especially Brock Purdy, who's like a monster. So it's like you still need the production, right? But it just might not come from where you expected it to come, but you still need that. So I don't know. It's an interesting conversation, and we'll see if it swings back. I mean, look at that. Only 5 QBs gone so far. Interesting. Very interesting. So
yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, I definitely am surprised. But I don't know. We have a lot of savvy listeners and stuff. And so maybe the pendulum swung a little too far, but I don't know. Like, I think there's definitely like the haves and the have-nots when it comes to a 12-team Superflex league, but I mean, that kind of goes across positions also, like, obviously you'd love to be strong everywhere, right? With the true dynasty, but quarterbacks, they tend to last a little longer, at least the ones that we've seen multiple years of good from, and just old reliable, but you can definitely get by with some older guys or even some, the Brock Purdy types, Jordan Love even, but you better be else.
Yeah, I don't know. It is very interesting to me because you go and look at your 12 teams and stuff, and um, how many people have, how many of those teams have more than three quarterbacks that they can consistently rely on? There's very few people, in my opinion. Um, and you just kind of look at the list of, like, I'm looking at the keep trade cut list, and I'd say there's about 20-ish quarterbacks that I feel pretty good next year as QB2/3 for my team, right? And then after that, it's a lot of question marks. So you do the math, like let's just say 2022, there's 12 teams, like that's not even enough for every team to have two comfortable starters. So plus we're not getting an influx this year, most likely. So I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Again, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with it at all of how it swung a little bit, but it's just interesting to see it.
Yeah.
It really is.
And you kind of mentioning the influx is kind of an interesting point to, like, knowing that there should be, a good crop of guys coming into the NFL this next year. Does that change how you approach it? Like, do you see if
I'm
you
saying
can
there's
kind
not an influx.
no, next year. Sorry. I meant like
Okay.
27.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. This is that time of year where we really have to specify what year we're talking about for sure.
Yeah.
That's my bad. But I'm just saying, like, maybe that does change how you view quarterback, especially like some of these riskier guys. Yeah.
It's interesting though, because like you don't see quarterbacks get traded very often either. So like people obviously value quarterbacks, but it never translates. It doesn't seem to translate enough to rookie picks and dynasty startups. It's like a weird thing, I don't know. Maybe like, but you're looking at 27. Like, how many of those rookies from year one are going to be good? So you're really looking at like 28 if you're kind of relying on the 27 class. You're really looking at the year 2028 to help you with the quarterback position. But I don't know. The biggest thing for me is just it's really hard for quarterbacks. Like I just don't ever see quarterbacks get traded. I don't ever see it. What do you think about Amari and Hampton? I'm taking him over Mr. Genty. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about him, or like in that regard specifically, right? Like where it's like it might just be Hampton, especially if you're playing in a shorter window, just because the offense that he's on, and yeah, just like compared to Ashton Genty, like we don't know. There's a lot of question marks there. I am gonna go with a different running back.
I mean, both Achane and Hampton, like in redraft, are right now being projected over Genty. So that should, for me, kind of be enough to take those players over Genty, So, yeah. And if anyone, sorry, real quick, anyone in this draft that also is, watching and on the chat, like, feel free to give your thoughts on the whole quarterback philosophy. I mean, we saw a lot more go in second round, so it's kind of like it's been shifted to, a decent amount in the first round to a lot more in the second round, basically. But like, I don't know, it's interesting. Also, like CD Lamb at the 207, I think that's kind of, I don't know, that surprises me a bit. So
yeah, I mean, it's probably only a few spots back from where he was getting drafted in a lot of startups last year, right? Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, John. Because I was kind of thinking this. What's that?
I was saying that is garlic bread, by the way, John. Garlic bread.
Oh, delicious. Yeah, no, it's a good point. It was definitely something I was kind of thinking about, where like just talking about the Genty versus Hampton conversation, and he said, there's the same question marks for Achane. The main difference between him and Genty being that we've seen it, right? Not that Genty was like completely horrible. Like he was actually really good for given the offense that he was, like as far as like the role, and obviously you wanted more based on where you drafted him, but it's like totally like profiles as the guy he was being drafted for next year. You just might have to wait a little while. I mean, you do have to wait. You didn't get it the first year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to follow my rankings here, but it's also like my rankings are very much like I feel good about them position to position, but like, positional groupings and stuff, but like I'm still uncertain about like should, Nico Collins be in the same tier as like a Jonathan Taylor or something like cross positionally and stuff. I'm still very thinking about all that. I'm also a little bit surprised about Trevor Lawrence not going a little bit higher, given are people just not maybe believing in what they've seen the last 8 weeks or so. A little bit hesitant. We've seen it before from Lawrence, but I don't think we've seen it at quite at this level. And this is kind of what he was supposed to be in his career. So. I was wondering when Rice was gonna go too.
Mr.
Nearly
Rice.
impossible. It was nearly impossible to trade for a quarterback in my league. It's like the third year in a row now. QB trades always seem to involve QBs on both sides of the trade. Yeah, it is like, and that's kind of my point where it's like there seems to be a little bit of like a disconnect, and maybe you can take advantage of it in rookie drafts. I always tell people like the two cheapest places to get quarterbacks are rookie drafts and startups. Like, we value it's so hard to get a quarterback off a player because very few people have more than 3. And even when you have more than 3, you're like, I'm one injury away from not looking good. What if I trade this guy away? Like it's so hard. So I really still like to lock up the quarterbacks early, but I get the appeal of the getting the positional players and stuff. So
trading for quarterbacks is it's so hard because like you said, there's no depth there necessarily. But sorry, I'm looking at I'm trying to get prepared here myself. It's kind of it's always hard to trade away one because someone always wants one back, so that kind of usually takes an injury or something along those lines to make that even kind of feasible, or you're overpaying.
Yep.
So it is it's one of those two things.
Yeah. John, my biggest robbery of trade of my life has been selling McCarthy and Wentz right before Dart breakout. Yeah, nice. It's a pretty nice one. Although I think it's still up in the air with McCarthy, but obviously you want Dart at this point. A crazy shift in the health of the position that is really tough to gauge and predict. Sure. Quarterback injuries seem, maybe this is something I'll go back and look at, but it does seem really, really high the last couple of years. I remember always talking, Dad would always throw out that stat, like he knew off the top of his head, like 64 quarterbacks played this year, and it happened like 3 years in a row. I don't know what the number was this year. If anyone knows, let me know. There have been 2 of the most injured years for quarterback and wide receiver. Yeah. Yep. And again, I think the quarterback injury stuff kind of started back in like about 3. This is about the third season in a row, I feel like, where there's just so many QBs injured. So,
and that's going to be your best bet on getting some of those guys, stash them backup quarterbacks and, try and trade them for when they get started. People do have a hard time even giving up picks for known starters because it's like sometimes you don't know the clock, right? It's like, am I going to get them for one game? It's easier if someone goes on IR, so you got them for at least 4, but I don't know. You got to time those things right, and sometimes it's a little bit like I feel like the very middle part of the season, weeks 4 through 10, are like the hardest times to trade for something like that.
Yeah.
Partially because, some people are like they're like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna really make it, so they're kind of letting fate decide it a little bit. I feel like
Yeah.
if you get an injury early on, sometimes people are a little more open to like, oh well, I can't throw in the towel for the whole season already, kind of a thing.
Yeah, quarterback does feel a little bit also running back esque in that like feels like there's a lot of backup quarterbacks that are coming in and giving you very good production, at least super flex level production, which is the argument for having a lot of quarterbacks is like that quarterback Shador Sanders or something is probably going to be better. Like he's probably like RB 17 in points per game or something, Um, so, but you see these like Brissett coming in and Flacco and these type of guys. So like I don't know, it is very interesting. It's also been two of the most healthy years for running backs in the last decade. Running backs shockingly healthy this year, outside of like Bucky. Yeah, I actually remember I went back and looked. So this was maybe I don't think it was last offseason. I think it was the one before that. And I actually went back and like looked. It's like, do running backs actually get hurt more? Because that's like the narrative. Running backs get hurt more, and it wasn't really as drastic as like people make it seem. And this was before the last couple of years where like running backs have been incredibly healthy. Like it was running backs did get hurt more on average, but it wasn't anything crazy. But even just a couple of games is pretty significant, I guess, in the fantasy world. So, what the hell? Did your like rankings get all like? Oh, okay, I see why. I have Nico typed down. I was like, why is Anthony Richardson and like Lou Nichols on the top of my rankings chart? Good old Lou Nichols of Central Michigan or something. Man, I don't know who to take here. I just that was kind of a trying to. I'll probably hit it to auto pick here for these teams. Jacobs during the playoffs being hurt sucks too. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about the Jacobs rank. I think there's a lot of good value with like Jacobs, Garrett Wilson, Marv, these players here. I think there's a lot of good value for them.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some of the guys that are falling. Olave going nice. Yeah, when I was looking at the wide receivers, obviously, like you said, it's PPR, so you kind of want someone that's going to give you that at least has like a really high ceiling, or that you guys know how to draft. But yeah, looking at the list, I was kind of like, ooh, I don't really like my options here, like as it was coming up. So good on the teams who actually got some of those like elite talent, because like that will help set yourself apart for sure. Make up some of them quarterback points.
All right, John, you got to put your money where your mouth is here soon with that statement. I also look at like McCaffrey going here, and it's just like, should we just be taking McCaffrey way earlier? Because it's like he has the ability again to just win you a championship. And like while we're planning for like, Travion Henderson in 2028 is going to be awesome. This team that just takes McCaffrey in the end of round 4 wins the championship the next 2 years. And who gives a hell like what Travion Henderson does in 2028, because I won 2 championships or something. I don't know, something I always think about as I need to catch up with marking people off here. But I don't know. I always think about that with McCaffrey.
I don't know where you can look this up, like seeing where, like who's the most rostered player on championship teams. It's like McCaffrey had to be up there.
Yeah, he was. Did I not put Saquon in my? Oh yeah, I did. See Cam Ward go. Mecca Ibuka. I was kind of wondering where he went. I mean, man, if you were doing a startup in the middle in October or something, where would a Mecca Ibuka have gone? Second round, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like wide receiver 5 or something. So, I know there is a place you can You can look that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I'll search here once I set these to auto pick.
So the interesting thing about you were talking about McCaffrey, right? Like he is one of those players that really does determine which way you should be leaning in your draft, right? Just given his age. It's like you almost like want to be just like going all in on productive vets at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't really understand the Kyron rankings either. I don't think I've ever really understood. Like, are people that worried about Blake Corum? Because, like, I mean, Kyron was still freaking awesome even with like Blake Corum doing what he was doing. So I don't know. Maybe I'm the fool there.
I mean, like what actually changed for him, right? He actually became more efficient on the ground than he was last year, closer to where he was in 23, right? So we still have 1,250 rushing yards and, even more receiving. The touchdowns didn't evaporate, he only got 13. Oh no, like, so obviously like he didn't finish as high as he did previously, like according to like the according to like the little data right here. Like I don't know the specific settings, it's probably nothing too exotic, but it's still kind of like, yeah, like the dude's still young. He got paid before this season just started. He's on a good offense. So we just got to believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just kind of looking at like his numbers second half of the season. Like he was RB10. I feel like that's like when Corum started to come along. He was still RB10, So I think he's always been a little criminally underrated, as someone said there in the chat there. I did find most rostered fantasy football championship and playoff players, most common playoff players, Saints defense, Colby Parkinson, JSN, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. Those guys were all over 70%. Michael Carter, Jahmyr Gibbs. I thought this was going to be a little bit easier of a page to read. Most common championship winning players, Bijan Robinson, 18.5% of championships. I don't know out of what platform or whatever. I like the Goff pick, by the way. I think that's really good value for Goff, who's been like QB7 each of the last 2 years or something. I'll get back to that article there. Let's go to Mr. Rome. Let's go to Rome. And
Dun, 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 oh, you're actually making the pick. Okay, you got back-to-back picks.
So yeah, Bijan was the most rostered championship player, followed by Puka, McCaffrey, JSN, Olave. Those are your top five. They are all over 15%, with Bijan being the most at 18.5, Puka 17.5, McCaffrey 17.3. So, yeah.
Not Tyreek Hill. I'm just looking through the list and I'm like, oh, there he is. So based on like the choices that I've got here, it's like I don't really see anyone that's like really jumping out at me like in the quarterback wide receiver room. So I'm gonna take the third tight end and take Tyler Warren. Like we talked about him and Colston Loveland. Like maybe I don't know if you consider that a reach. I'm not looking at your rankings actually.
Nope. We're in that tier.
Okay.
My only thing with that is that I have 6 tight ends, which include Warren, and then I'll mention the other ones as we go, that I think I'd be kind of having the same tier. I'm still very much working on my rankings and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do one more round of picking players and then switch it over. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm looking at your sheet now, and it's like, yeah, I can't fully disagree with that. I don't know if they're gonna start flying off the board necessarily. But I've got a long ways to come back. The RJ Harvey pick was just kind of like, I know he came in as like slightly older than average, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just him being tied to the Broncos and Sean Payton, and we saw the emergence of him in general, like over the back half of the season. So I hope Saturday's game doesn't come down to where it's just like, oh, it's all Jaleel McLaughlin or some shit like that. Is he even on Denver still?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that would
no,
be
I
terrible.
hope not.
They did say that Dobbins might play, right?
I thought it was if they made it to the championship game, AFC championship. Maybe that's someone else.
Oh, and Jameson Williams he's the other guy that I was like really looking at. Not necessarily a huge PPR guy, but obviously tied to a good offense who should get a little bit better shake next year. We saw him. I feel like this was like his kind of like breakout year, even though he was doing something very similar last year, basically on the same pace in a couple less games.
I like the Walker pick. I was thinking about Walker too.
Yeah, he is.
And if you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, definitely in anticipation. He was another guy I was looking at. Like, I'm still not sure which way I'm leaning with my team. As far as like making a pick quite like that. But yeah, the ETN, these are all guys I was looking at, just looking at running back in general.
Yeah, I'd like the idea. I mean, if you're doing a startup now, you're hoping that Walker gets to the right team in terms of him being a free agent. I'm going to change it, switch on to auto picks here so we can get to some of these questions as well. I guess I should make my pick first. Not questions, but statements.
Yeah.
Let's go. I don't have a lot of Devon. I don't know if I have any Devonta Smith in any drafts here. The league I won, I had Kyron, also CMC, but I mean, Kyron was still awesome. Happily sold my 26 first for Kyron mid-season.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as the Rams O-line stays healthy. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, he signed a contract too. At the 109. Okay. It's crazy Caleb went in the middle of round 2 and the first Bears wide receivers just taken. I know. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. I hope Luther Burden can be that kind of standout breakout guy, but I also could just see him not really like his role not expanding too much, to be honest. So Rome isn't my type of guy. Big avoid for me. Yeah, I don't blame you there for sure. It was a little bit disappointing to just see him kind of not be great. Like it sucked. Burden's an animal. He'll be top 15 receiver in no time. I hope so. I really like Burden a lot. Again, I could just see him not really his role expanding too much, but I would bank on the talent there for sure. Grabbed Tyreek late in a startup a few weeks ago. Was that a good take? Yeah. Like how late you talking? I mean,
yeah, how late?
But I mean, for sure. Like, I think Tyreek Hill can come back and be really good. Where did he hurt again? He hurt like his leg, right? Like screwed up his leg.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. It was so long ago.
Yeah, it was like week 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure it was like a leg or knee. It was one of those like don't show the injury air cast out on the field type of stuff. So
yeah, I remember it being pretty bad. And it is usually legs with wide receivers if it's that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Burden does move differently on the field. It's funny though. Like I thought the same thing about like an Elijah Moore. And go back and look at like Elijah Moore's rookie season. I liked. Now I'll say this: I liked Burden more as a prospect than Elijah Moore. And I think I think he was just a better prospect. But second round pick, 34th overall for Elijah Moore. I loved the way he just like moved on the field and got open. Like Elijah Moore before he got hurt, his was he had a great stretch before his rookie year. His last let's see here, 6 games of his rookie year. His 17-game pace was 96 catches, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Elijah Moore was awesome to end his rookie year. Gets hurt. I don't know if the injury was something to do with it, or whatever. If he's just not very good or whatever. But like, so I don't know. You got to always keep in the back of your mind, like Brian Thomas Jr. was awesome and stuff like that, and what happened with him. And so, not saying you shouldn't be taken or be excited about Burden, but I'm always like thinking about that type of stuff. So, Harvey worries me since J.K. performed much better before getting hurt and was absolutely the Broncos' RB. Yeah, they're never going to. Sean Payton, I mean, even with Kamara, he never used like one running back. He would use 3 at times. I mean, we're talking early 2010s, like Pierre Thomas, Chris Ivory, and like Darren Sproles and stuff like that. And I think the only like time he ever used like one running back was like very, very early on when he had Deuce McAllister, who was one of like the better running backs there for a couple of years in the 2000s and stuff. So Kyler going, interesting. Not that I disagree there, but that is interesting. I also think it's interesting that like Penix is still there. I'm in on Penix. Not sorry, I shouldn't say I'm not in on. I'm in on Penix like here in this range, knowing that QB3 is going to get pretty slim here pretty quickly. So I'll still take a chance with them. Kyron went to your high school. Nice. I'm curious what the Broncos do. I'm a diehard Denver fan. Boo! No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, though, there's probably 2 teams that I don't want to see win, and it's the Broncos and the Patriots. Unfortunately, I'm a Chargers fan, kind of. I don't know. I keep saying that. I really don't like. I don't react to when they lose, so I think that's kind of telling. I feel like I'm like not really a fan anymore, to be honest. I don't know.
You've been through the ringer. That's why.
Well, and they left San Diego, man. Like, I think ever since then, I've just kind of been like, I don't really care about you anymore. Like, how would you feel if like your partner left you, and not only left you, but left you for like your best friend? You wouldn't just continue talking to your partner. Like LA and San Diego are rivals. LA doesn't think so, but San Diego does. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to root for the Chargers anymore. Pat Bryant is an animal too. Yeah, Denver needs to freaking choose which receivers they want to use, though. That's the only issue.
Man, just roll them all out there. They're winning by not doing that.
And that's fair, Marv. Like you can definitely say that. I mean, me and my dad, we had season tickets to between 2007 and 2015 or 2014 season. I mean, I must have gone to 40, 50 Charger games. I might be a little off there. Like driving 3 hours to go see them. I knew every freaking player on the Chargers down to like the practice squad players. I was the biggest Chargers fan you could ever imagine. And I didn't like that they left. I really didn't. I don't like Dean Spanos as the owner. I don't think they're ever going to win with Dean Spanos as the owner because he's a cheap ass. And I don't like that they went to Los Angeles. And I want to see them do well, but like I just don't react as much. Like it used to ruin my day when they lost. And now I don't really I don't really care. Maybe I'm just used to it or not. But I mean, again, like you'd be hard pressed to find a bigger Chargers fan from like 06 to 2015 than me. But yeah, just don't like that they left.
I can't sorry, I wasn't exactly paying attention to everything, but I don't know if you mentioned we live three and a half, 4 hours north of San Diego. Also, when you had those season tickets, did you mention that?
Yeah. So we'd wake up at 5 in the morning and get there at 8 and tailgate and stuff like that. I am used to losing, that's for sure. That is absolutely 100% sure. But I'm also just like the Padres, man. I'm all in on the Padres, and I don't know if any of you watch baseball, but the Padres and how much the San Diego fans and how much they support the Padres is kind of an FU to the claim that San Diego did not support the Chargers, because they absolutely did. Maybe they didn't have the biggest fan base or whatever, but they 100% supported that team until the writing was on the wall and they were going to leave San Diego those last couple of years. We all knew it was going to happen. So, just go look at the Padres fans are, over the last couple of years, like, of some of the most loyal fans to that team that they've had. So, I agree though. I'm not as much of a fan anymore. So, and I kind of like it that way, to be honest. I don't mind it, really. I really don't.
Yeah, you can still be happy for them when they win and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Watermelon.
Still believe in Franklin. What's up?
No, I was just saying his time's up, but it didn't auto pick him.
Franklin and Bryant seem like the future for Sutton, for Denver. Sutton and Mims need to go. Yeah, what is Sutton's situation with his contract?
They just paid him before this season started, right?
Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, I thought the value for Loveland was awesome, for sure. Like, I would definitely take Loveland at the 7-2 over Warren, versus Warren at the 5-12. I think that's like really, really good value for Loveland.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a big tier of like Warren, Loveland, Laporta, Kraft, Pitts. Obviously, like, Kittle wouldn't have gone here. Because
because of the injury. Same thing with Hawkinson too. Like, that's too high for him. Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with that tier either, but I was kind of like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a flag plant, like that's what mock drafts are for, to just kind of like seeing like, who do I actually like? And yeah, just given what he did as a rookie, I'm not convinced otherwise.
I
guess Tyler Warren.
Okay, there's another. Well, I guess I'll wait till he goes off, but I'm a little bit surprised about another player that hasn't gone, to be honest. This is helping though. Okay, Travis Hunter did go at the 609. Interesting. Harold Fannin was the other one. Like, I mean, we were just talking about, should like Fannin versus Loveland versus Warren, should we have that conversation, But look at Fannin going 902. Is it the quarterback? Well, he just produced without, great quarterback play, you can argue. So I think that's good value for Fannin Jr. By the way, Jordan Addison got arrested.
Oh, good.
Arrested or jail, or I don't think it was jail. It was trespassing or something. So, but that's like what, 2 or 3 times? Yeah, 3rd time since he's been drafted, arrested for the 3rd time. So, don't love that. Ronde Gadsden, interesting.
I like the Bryce Young pick in the 8th round.
Yeah.
Shout out to Watermelon there. I mean, obviously quarterbacks dry up pretty quick. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he'll be a solid like QB2 for at least this next year. But I just, the future is very questionable for sure, but it's like, whose isn't that's left kind of a thing.
Marv with both Walker and Sharp. Yeah, I mean, if people are still thinking of them together and then they're not together, you could just get like a 2-for-1 there, kind of, So
2 for 2, man.
2 for 2, 1 for 2. What's the right phrase there? A 2 for 2, I guess. No, 1 for 2, right? You're thinking them as one, and now they're 2. I don't know, but it could work out. I like both those guys.
Well, the
if they're by
4-2
themselves
means that's what you're paying. Like
The
when you
what?
say when you say 2 for 1, 1 is what you pay, 2 is what you got.
Yeah, I'm kind of viewing it more like that, I think. Like you kind of paid, people are thinking you paid for 1, but you got 2 potentially. I don't know. Technically you paid for 2 though, so it doesn't make sense. He says right here.
2 for 2.
Yeah. I hope they don't like franchise him. I hope Breece Hall doesn't get franchised, but sorry, you were saying.
I'm just going to say there's a couple of wide receivers that I don't mind at this position in the draft. And I think it's going to be not necessarily in this order, but Jacoby and Ayuk. I'm kind of curious. What's that?
I don't know how to rank Ayuk, to be honest.
Me neither. Just looking at a lot of the other guys, like I'm just kind of like, what is he going to be? The latest update from a month ago, he's feeling extremely distant from the 49ers. Like,
yeah, no shit.
Well, okay. Yeah. But I think he's a good enough player that even if he's not there, like,
he'll be on Washington.
Still be productive. He'll be in Washington.
Yeah, because that's where he wanted to go. He played with Jaden Daniels in college at Arizona State. And there was like that talks of him going to Washington and all that. So he'll be in Washington if he's not on the 49ers. No. I do think, Tyreek in the 17th is an easy draft because, like, even if you don't even start him next year, even if there's like buzz around him, like he's healthy and he goes to another team that we really like he goes to the Bills or the Patriots or back to the Chiefs, like you could sell him for way more. So like, I think you're easily, this is a guy that if we do a dynasty startup in August, he could be going like in this range right now, So, we kind of view him as like Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey. I don't think it's quite the same because those guys are coming off like elite seasons, but in roughly in that, like, oh yeah, this is a veteran that can win it for me, kind of. So, yeah, I do think that's a great move there. So, yeah, I kind of lost my rankings here at the end, but it didn't really follow my team very well. I'm not sure about the Pearsall. That was like I knew my time was running out, and I just like clicked the name. But I think it's really interesting to see how it's really changed. Like, just a couple players here, like I said, CeeDee Lamb going in the 2-7. Even guys like Garrett Wilson going there. I don't know. It's going to be fun. Real quick, if you do want to join, it seems like we got a lot of interest in a startup league. We have 3 listener league dynasty leagues that we started last year. We're trying to get 2 more. I think I need to talk with you, Brian, about this, but I kind of want to do like a bigger money one, like maybe $100 one, but that might be hard to fill. And I want to do a best ball one as well. So, but we need to have the interest as well. Like we need to, we don't have the luxury of like tens of thousands of listeners to easily fill that up. So, but anyways, join our Discord. We're going to be starting up listener leagues. I'm probably going to announce that, probably shortly after the Super Bowl, start putting those together. Probably drafting before the NFL draft. So, if you want to get into that, join the Discord. But we've had a decent amount of people from our videos the last couple of weeks joining and asking about it. So it seems like we're going to be able to get at least one, hopefully two more set up here. So also we do team reviews. John Garlic Bread, we're going to do his Saturday. It's another thing I need to talk to you about, Brian, but we're doing his Saturday morning. We got Pete, our good friend Pete. He's going to have a couple coming up here. So if you want to get your team reviewed, it is a price. We pay, we charge for it. So one team review is $20, two for 30. But we spend a lot of time on it. Well, I mean, we're going to spend at least 30, probably 45 minutes on each team that we review and break down, the warp, wins above replacement, and all that fun stuff, and your league and all that. So if you're interested in that, join the Discord.
Do us a favor. Any other leagues that you're in, maybe let them know that we're going to do the next time we do another mock, like get this thing full up. And because it does kind of affect, like you almost don't have to pick the guys that you want to skip anyways, because it's like, the computer's going to auto draft them. Because the rankings aren't fully where they should be probably for a few of these players. So yeah, hook us up.
Yeah, no, for sure. I put out a Dynasty rookie ranking. It was supposed to be top 30, but I made the video where I, prepared the video and was hit record 10 minutes after Dante Moore said he was going back to school. So it was my top 29 because I didn't find a replacement there because I just didn't feel like it. And I thought it'd be funny. Oh, I'm on the clock. I thought it'd be funny just to have a top 29 instead of a top 30. Man, I have no idea who to take. Just take Tua. He'll start somewhere. So check that out. I do think this class really hinges on a couple players like Ty Simpson, who's the other quarterback besides Mendoza. I think that could go first round. And as well as there's two running backs after Jeremiah Love, of course, that I'm excited about. It's not a very deep running back class, but if those two running backs get good landing spots in the second or third round, I think we could be looking at the first 10 picks being. We're pretty excited about the first 10 picks of of our rookie drafts, which you can't really ask for too much more, I guess. And there's always going to be guys later on and stuff. So have to drop one league to join another. Can we do a $75 league? Yeah. I mean, again, I understand we might not have the luxury to do a big money league like that. It's not even big money, but I don't want to trivialize $75 and $100 or whatever. But I'm not talking about a $500 league or whatever. But I would like to do up the ante a little bit on one of these where you guys have startup draft viewers. Yes. Yeah, it's a listener league, a viewer league here, Braden. So if you're not in our Discord, join it. Yeah, it's with our listeners. We have 3 already set up, 3 Dynasty leagues. We had 1 redraft. I think that's what you're asking. And we are going to do the drafts live, by the way. That is going to be a requirement. If you're going to join these, you have to do a live draft. So it's going to be live. It's a lot of fun to do it live rather than slow. So, but
I'm really sad.
What do you?
Ultimate Tiger took Ramondre. I thought he was safe enough to where I just started looking at other guys, and I went to find him and I couldn't.
That's a really good pick, actually, Ramondre.
Yeah, in the 11th round, it's they don't really have an out until after this next year.
What about Bruce Miller?
All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and take another tight end. I kind of didn't plan very well.
No Bruce Miller?
I don't even know who the hell that is.
Well, 5 years ago, he heads back to the practice squad. But somehow he's ranked. I was like, did someone just take him? Somehow he's ranked above Najee and Tajay Spears. I don't understand those sometimes. What's going on here? I'll take Bayshaw. Scootin'. What's your opinion of James Conner off an injury, the unstable QB situation? I wouldn't be shocked if like James Conner just like has another good year in him. So unstable QB for sure. They still have Brissett under contract. So keep that in mind. Like he could be the quarterback, and that could be good. He's also James Conner also still under contract with Arizona, but I think they also have an out. Like they can save a decent amount of money, which I would assume they would with a new coaching staff coming in. I think they can. If I remember, I just looked this up. It's like 8 or 9 million they can save, and I think that's significant enough with a new coaching staff coming in to definitely move on from him. But I could see him going somewhere and still being really good, like for another year. What was his injury again?
It was something in the foot.
Here he is, right here. After he was injured, well, tell me the injury sleeper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says foot.
Yeah. So a couple of things like what I was asking everyone to like, let's try and fill this thing up next time. Cause I don't think James Conner and like Mixon go in the 10th round. I don't think Hawkinson goes in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 8th round. I don't know. There's a little bit of fuckery, I'd say, because of the auto picks.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. How many rounds would the actual draft be? I believe it is, what was it, 28?
Yeah, I think 28 is what we did the last 2 times.
28. So I should preface this. We don't do the entire draft live. We do the first like 12 rounds live. And then we go to switch to a slow draft. So, but it's a 12 team. We do 12 team start 12s. So deep leagues, very deep leagues. I just enjoy playing that a little bit more. I think it's a lot more strategy and fun in it. And it makes, when you play in shallow leagues, and I'm not trying to discredit them at all, but 75% of the players actually don't really matter, which is kind of, I don't know, not fun to me. So 5 flex. Yeah, I think it's 5 flex. I forget what exactly it's similar to the redraft listener league, I believe. So maybe not quite as shallow or even more deep. Latu is the lowest ranked person I could draft. I remember him getting drafted to the 49ers. I think it was, or did he go undrafted? No, he was a 3rd round pick. 3rd round pick to the 49ers. So, but now he's on the Eagles.
Well, he was
what on the Eagles?
On the Eagles, but now they're going to clean house of it. Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back. Was there any last thoughts on that draft? Or I know we kind of talked about, kind of tailed off from it there in the second half, but
yeah. Let's see. I know I was trying to like see whose team I really, really liked. I was figuring it was going to be Mr. Garlic Bread because I do like that. I do like those picks at the end, but I don't know. I think I like JMO's team, honestly, like getting Shuck at the end of the 8th to kind of have that second quarterback, like we don't know what his future is going to be, but dude looked good. I thought that was good value there. Plus the Loveland pick, Javonte. Yeah, elite receivers. I can't really fault him for any of those things.
Would you take Shuck over McCarthy at this point?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. They're probably pretty close. Like, I think I'd rather have McCarthy just for I just feel like the longevity of the career could be in McCarthy's favor if he figures it out, and the talent that he has plus the coaching staff like will give the guy a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Marv's team, yeah. I mean, you just have you're going to have some QB issues potentially there, but you would just need to find that. And again, if you're drafting in January, you're not worrying too much about your starting lineup. You figure that out later. No, Marv, you have a good team there for sure. I like the Juwan Jennings in the 11th round, Wandale in the 12th round. Like, if we're playing in deeper leagues, those guys are easily plugged in as starters. Like Wandale, but what the hell? Wandale was like a top 12 receiver this year or something crazy, right? Like, wasn't he? Crazy?
Yeah, I think he was actually. Like, I know he was way up there. 14, 14 according to these settings.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I see too. 17 in points per game. So,
what do you think about Dart going before Herbert, Nix, Lawrence, Stroud, even Love and Dak?
I get it. My opinion on Dart is I would take him over. I would take Herbert still over Dart, Caleb over Dart, but I think he enters that conversation. I would take him over Stroud. What was the other ones you said? Lawrence?
Yeah, Lawrence, Love, and then
I think you
got Baker and Dak.
Yeah, I would take Dart over all those guys. The only ones I think I have in the same tier right now. I have Dart, Purdy, Nix, and Lawrence in the same tier. So I think Dart is a big tier down option. Like, if you have him, I am really looking to tier down though from Dart to a Dak to a Love to a Stroud, and getting something on top of it. So, but I get him going there. So people are excited. I mean, he was really good when he played. He averaged over 20 points a game, this year. Wandale was also a free agent, I'm pretty sure. So that could actually, I could see Wandale just kind of disappearing into nothing, to be honest. But yeah, he's a free agent as well. So but yeah, we're going to be live again on Saturday. We're going to be doing John Garlic Bread's team review that day, and just kind of talking the playoffs, Dynasty as always. So join us Saturday morning, right around noon ish. And yeah, appreciate everyone that came out and drafted with us. It was fun. And anything else?
Yeah, publish the league. Everyone send us $30. We're gonna play this out.
This league here.
Yeah.
Yep, let's do it. This is the league. No. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and we will see you all Saturday. Enjoy, I guess, basketball if you watch that in the sports world. So, or hockey. Enjoy those. So see you guys on Saturday.